This is a recording of this year's Virtual Residency Fair. We'd like to take the time to thank the programs that volunteered their time to present to this year's applicants. This year's PM&R Scholars Virtual Residency Fair is supported by PM&R Recap and Ultrasound Guidance. PM&R Recap is the leading resource for your physiatry board preparation, clinical preparation, audition rotations, and beyond. PM&R Recap offers 35 hours of review videos, hundreds of review questions, and oral board cases to help you become the best physiatrist that you can be. Head to pmnrrecap.com to learn more. Ultrasound Guidance is the innovative new online ultrasound learning platform that gives you instant access to expert instruction. With rapid scans and complete scans of every joint and peripheral nerve, Ultrasound Guidance is the perfect way to jumpstart your MSK ultrasound learning. Visit ultrasoundguidance.com to learn more.
Hi, everyone. My name is Louis Nicolas. I'm one of the chief residents at the University of Colorado. Super happy to be here today to present to you guys. I have my two other chief residents here, so I'll let them introduce themselves before we get started.
Hi, I'm Andrea. I'm the admin chief resident. Nice to meet you all.
And I'm Christian. I'm the academic chief resident. Nice to meet you guys.
All right, so next slide, please. All right, so welcome to the University of Colorado PM&R program. Again, we're super happy to talk to you all. This slide just kind of shows our family and the camaraderie that we have in our program, and I really feel that we're one of the top programs in the country. So I'm excited to talk to you more about our program. So again, this is us. These are Andrea, Christian, and I, and we have 3 chief residents in our program, 6 to 7 residents per class, and so about 18 to 20 residents total, and we kind of help lead the program for now. Next slide. One of the huge strengths of our program, which I think really sets us apart from some of these other programs, is our exposure to a variety of different settings. So we don't just rotate at one hospital, we rotate at about 5. So this includes the University of Colorado Hospital or UC Health, also the Rocky Mountain VA, Denver Health, which is our community hospital or safety net hospital, Children's Hospital Colorado, and also Craig Hospital. So UC Health is kind of like your run-of-the-mill academic center. We're a level 1 trauma center, so we see a lot of patients there on the consult service and on the inpatient rehab unit. It's a 12-bed unit, and we get really strong inpatient exposure there. We also have the consult service where we rotate at, and there's a variety of outpatient exposure that we do that's affiliated through UC Health, including the UC Health Spine Center, some sports medicine sites kind of scattered throughout the rest of Denver, and overall we get a ton of great exposure there. At the VA, we have an 8 to 10 bed inpatient rehab unit as well, and we do a variety of outpatient rotations there as well. At Denver Health, we have a robust consult service where we see lots of new spinal cord injury, brain injury. At Children's Hospital, it's one of the top children's hospitals in the country. And Craig Hospital is a model system for brain injury and spinal cord injury, and one of the top rehab hospitals in the country. Next slide. So one thing we really wanted to highlight is our procedure exposure. So if getting hands-on time doing procedures is something that you're interested in, I strongly encourage you to apply to our program. So these are just the average procedure numbers that we have in our program compared to some of the ACGME minimums. So you can see that for most of these procedures, specifically epidural injections, facet injections, peripheral joint injections, we significantly exceed the ACGME minimums. And again, these are just the average. So those who are interested in sports, spine, or pain can easily exceed these numbers. So I know Andre and Christian and I have a very strong interest in musculoskeletal medicine, and we've had hundreds of epidurals, hundreds of facet injections, hundreds of peripheral joint injections. And the peripheral joint includes steroid injections, also includes PRP. These peripheral joint injections are both landmark guided, but also ultrasound guided. And we get really, really great hands-on exposure where you're one-on-one with the attending and you're driving the needle for 90 to 100% of these procedures. So really, really great exposure there. And another highlight of our program, I think, is our call structure. So we take home call I repeat, we take home call, so we are not in-house. You do not sleep at the hospital. It's 1 week at a time. It's Friday to Friday. So pretty much when the inpatient resident gets off, at the end of their shift, they sign off to you and you answer calls from home from 5 p.m. to 7 a.m. And our structure is that so as you kind of progress through residency, the amount of call weeks decrease over time. And if you're not on call, you have free weekends. So as a PGY2, you have 42 free weekends and there's no fine print there. And we also get 20 vacation days and 14 sick days, which I think is really fantastic for us and helps with our wellness too.
Okay, so talking a little bit about mentorship, this is another thing that we're really proud of in our program. We have really excellent mentorship, both formally and informally. Formally, when you start your PGY2 year, you're assigned a PGY3 peer mentor as well as a faculty mentor. And this is based off your clinical interests at that time. And they also serve as like an early talking point, someone that you can ask questions to, learn more about life in Colorado as you're making that transition from wherever you do your intern year over towards Colorado. The other thing that is something that the three of us are really passionate about and that we started when we became chief residents is subspecialty interest groups. So the thought with this is how you have interest groups in medical school where you have your PM&R interest group, your neuro interest group, your ortho interest group. And as a med student, you're encouraged to go to all these different groups to kind of figure out what you like, what you don't like. It's very similar because PM&R has such a broad breadth of variety. We created the subspecialty interest groups for that purpose. So with these, we have a pain and interventional spine interest group, a sports medicine interest group, a neuro rehab interest group, and then also a peds rehab interest group. And then also to add, our faculty is amazing. We spend so much one-on-one time with attendings teaching us. So we get really, really great informal mentorship as well. Another thing that's really unique to our program is the educational tracks that we offer. So we offer a global health certificate track, which is an 18-month curriculum in combination with New York Presbyterian Hospital. And the goal of this is to learn about global health policy, development, health disparities, and then country-specific cultural training as well. We also offer a medical education track for those that are interested in medical education. Once you go into med school, then you become a resident, and then you become attending, everyone expects you to somehow learn how to also become a teacher as you're becoming a doctor. And for many of us, we have a passion for teaching, but no one really teaches you how to teach. So this is focused on adult learning, and you can do various different passion projects to kind of foster that interest as well. So because we have so many sites, we have such great faculty, we have a ton of leadership opportunities. So within CU PM&R itself, a lot of the opportunities that ourselves and our co-residents are involved in vary from whether being the social media manager to the medical student interest group leader through CU Medical School. We also have wellness liaisons within our program, and then who are also liaisons to GME. Residents are also the leaders for the subspecialty interest groups and coordinate with the junior residents and also with faculty mentors as well. You can also be a part of our program evaluation committee, which I think is a nice, unique opportunity to see what kind of that administrative and leadership side is like early on, even as early as a PGY2. And another thing that we offer that's really unique is the RSVP clinic. There's only a few in the country. And this is a free clinic for uninsured and undocumented patients, primarily with spinal cord injuries, but can also be with a variety of neuro rehab diagnoses and provide care to them. The other thing that's really great about our program is that so many of us are involved nationally as well. Myself, Louis, and Christian, we're all on one or more. I think we're all on at least two of these national boards through AAPM&R, AAP, AMSSM, or representation in rehab. And I think that's a goal that we have for our co-residents and junior residents and for our program overall, like Louis said, to kind of become a top program and really continue to advance and put CU PM&R on the map. So another important question that always comes up is, where do fellows go after graduation? What do they go into? I think you can see we have a really strong calling for people with interest in MSK overall. So 4 in sports medicine over the last 5 years, 4 in pain medicine, and 7 in interventional spine. And like Louis said, I think we just get amazing hands-on with procedures. We get amazing sideline coverage. We get amazing mentorship along the way. So I think that we're probably the best program for MSK if that's something that you're interested in. We do also have really robust spinal cord injury training and peds rehab training. As you can see, those are also common things that residents go into. Like Louis mentioned, for spinal cord injury, we rotate not only at the VA at spinal cord injury dedicated units, but also at Craig Hospital, which is a model system and a really unique opportunity as well. And then for peds, we rotated at the Children's Hospital of Colorado, which is one of the best, if not the best, peds rehab program in the country. And so kind of expanding upon that, it makes sense that most of our residents go into one of these 4 domains for the most part, because I think we have such incredible teaching, awesome fellowships available as well. So we have a lot of residents that go into pain medicine, sports medicine, spinal cord injury medicine, and peds rehab. These are all through CU, but the spinal cord injury fellowship is affiliated with Craig Hospital and CU. And then the peds rehab fellowship is also through CU, but also affiliated through the Children's Hospital of Colorado as well.
All right, just a few more logistics to talk about, some cool things that our program offers. When you become part of the CU PM&R residency, you get a copy of Bradham's for board development and board practice, part of the department. And then we also get the AB PM&R board review question banks as part of our residency, so help us be focused on boards. And in the last 5 years, there's been a 100% pass rate from our program. So if that's something you're concerned about, our program does a really good job addressing that. A cool new addition that we have are 3 portable butterflies, which are those ultrasounds that can plug into your phone. You can rent these out at any time during the year, and depending on what rotation, you might be assigned one to be able to practice your musculoskeletal ultrasound. I found it super helpful. I think it's a huge perk of our program. And then on top of all that, we get educational funds to be used for a variety of different things. A lot of us like to use it to go to conferences, sometimes for educational textbooks. If you start at the beginning of your residency, you can use it for protective wear and things like that. So some really cool opportunities there. And I think something else I really want to hit on, I know we talked about why our program is academically quite strong, but I think something that comes up a lot is the culture that we've built. And we have a culture of wanting to kind of show how good of a program we are, going to conferences and representing together and having a really good time. So here's just some examples of residents kind of representing the program across the country. And then another thing that I think is really exciting about our program is the way that didactics are starting to develop. We have made some big changes to help focus on adult-based learning. A lot of this is with hands-on modules, kind of some teach-back sessions, and then helping incorporate some of the leaders that we have in the field that we're lucky enough to have in the department into these workshops to really get a nice, robust, well-rounded didactics curriculum. And then more about the culture, I think it truly does become a family here. And I know you're going to hear that at every single one of these that you go to, but I really want to impart, it really does become that at CU. We all get to know each other's kids and significant others, and kind of feels like your own kid or your own significant other in some ways to get to spend time with. So it's a really, really cool environment. And then this is just more talking on some of the volunteer opportunities that we had. We touched base on the medical school interest group. This is through the University of Colorado School of Medicine, but there's also the Rocky Vista, which is the DO program just down south that we also partner with to do some of these larger events. The RSVP clinic is an amazing place that a lot of our residents become a part of, and part of the leadership board as well. And then we have some really unique opportunities with sideline coverage where residents can start being head team physicians within their first or second year of residency. So lots of hands-on stuff to do outside of the clinics and the wards as well. One thing that I think is always really special to us is the annual resident retreat. So every year the residency and significant others go up to usually somewhere in the mountains that's quite scenic, and places where hiking exists and rafting and fun things like that, just so that we can get to know each other better. And I think it's really the basis of kind of fostering that family feel. So you make some nice memories and form some strong friendships at these. We've also spent all the holidays together, from Halloween to Christmas to birthdays to fight nights and all sorts of different things. So just a little bit more into shedding light on how we like to spend time as a group. More weddings here. You can see there's even attendings here. There's junior faculty. There's some more senior faculty all the way up to interns that rotate through the program. So a really nice kind of spectrum of events for us. And then there's also some amazing things to explore within Colorado itself. There's a lot of outdoor activities, as you may know, whether it's hiking in the wintertime, there's kind of world-class skiing. And even here, 2 of our residents are pictured doing a volunteer event with the Arch program that takes them up to the mountains to also enjoy a little skiing of their own. So we get to incorporate some of the beauty of Colorado into our work as well. But you don't have to be outdoorsy to enjoy Colorado. You don't have to hike or ski. You can go watch the Rockies usually lose, but still enjoy a pretty cheap dog and a nice cold beverage. But then tons of other stuff. It's beautiful here. I think there's 300 days of sunshine a year is what's advertised. So really get to enjoy the outside environment and hang out with friends as well.
So this is our program in a nutshell. It's so much to pack into just 15 short minutes. But if there's anything to gain from this presentation, I would recommend screenshotting the slide. I think this kind of just like touches on all the big points of our program and all the things that we're so excited to share with you today. So yeah, I would screenshot this. And then we would love to get to know you more at our virtual open house if you all are available on Tuesday, September 17th. The QR code is here in the corner. It's also on our Instagram as well. So feel free to join us and we can expand upon a lot of the seeds that we kind of planted here and a little parts of information that we were able to share in this short time. But we're really passionate about our program. We're really happy to be here and we'd love to chat with you more in September too. So thank you to PM&R Scholars for having us, and we'll open it up to any questions for the next 5 minutes if anyone has any. And if you guys don't have any, that's okay. We can talk forever. Oh, so can we see the last slide again? Yes. Oops. I don't know if this is the one that you are referring to. I can go back to this one. And then also back to this one, in case anyone needs it. Okay, well, if there's no questions, I think maybe we can all just say like the 3 of us, like one of our favorite things about CU and then end it there and hand it over to the next team.
Andrea, you can start.
All right. I would say my favorite thing is all the one-on-one we get with our attendings. I think that was one of the things that surprised me the most. It was like during my PGY2 year, I was on peds rehab, didn't know anything about kids, didn't know anything about rehab. And the program director of the peds rehab program, I was in clinic with her and then we had a short day. So she came and like ultrasounded with me one-on-one for 2 hours at the end of the day to like teach me ultrasound. I've had very similar experiences throughout where attendings will come and just give me like a mini chalk talk or a lecture, or they'll like practice ultrasound with me, or they'll practice fluoro with me. So I think kind of that like hands-on and to emphasize like how awesome it is that we have all these sites. So we do get all that one-on-one is really special. You guys are up.
All right. I think the best thing about our program, or one of the best things, is our exposure clinically. The fact that we rotate at so many different sites really sets us up well for the future, because you not only see patients from different backgrounds, but you also get used to different systems. So, and one system is very different than another. So I think one of the most valuable things in a residency is just trying to think about what your future career might look like. And the fact that we get to see so many different practice styles and places and settings, it really sets us up for success and helps us form some ideas of where we want to work in the future. So I think that's one of the huge strengths. And at all these sites, you're almost always one-on-one with the attending, which I think is a huge strength. Christian?
I think right on par. my two co-chiefs are going to talk about all the rigor and academics that we have there. And I'm going to focus more on some of the strong qualities we have as like a group, a community. And I think everybody, like I said, will say that it feels like a family, but I'm from Colorado. My actual family is like 10 minutes away from me, but I truly feel like I have a family at work that I can spend time with. And, I have attendings who treat my parents, and I go to some of my attendings for my own care. And like, it just feels so tight knit and close, that I really appreciate that in our program. So hard to convey over slides and Zoom, but it really is a nice family culture.
All right. Well, thank you guys for having us. We appreciate it. We'll answer this question in the chat, and then we'll sign off. But we look forward to seeing you guys at the open house.